From the remote villages of Indonesia came a man forgotten by the world, a poor laborer, struggling to survive against poverty and despair. But Sumanto's name would soon be known, not for his hardships, but for the horrifying crime that shattered every boundary of humanity: cannibalism. Sumanto was born on March 3, 1972, the eldest of 5 siblings: Mulyati, Karyono, Mariati, and Mulyanto. His childhood was relatively stable, thanks to an inheritance from his paternal grandparents. He attended Pelumatan 1 elementary school, where his friends affectionately called him Suman. From a young age, Sumanto was known for being mischievous, yet he managed to graduate from elementary school. However, he initially failed to get into Kemangkon 1 junior high school due to low national exam scores and had to repeat 6th grade at Pelumatan 2 elementary school before finally graduating a year later. Sumanto eventually entered the junior high school he wanted, which was about 3 kilometers from his home. Every day he would walk there and back, tending goats and gathering grass afterward, before studying religion at a local mosque. Evenings were spent watching open-air movies or wayang puppet shows. However, economic hardships soon struck his family, forcing them to sell household goods to survive. In his 3rd year of junior high, Sumanto dropped out due to personal struggles. After leaving school, his behavior grew increasingly erratic. He committed petty crimes, such as theft, though he still tried to earn a living without burdening his family. One day, he suddenly declared he would migrate to Lampung to find work. His family, seeing it as an opportunity, allowed him to go without hesitation. In 1988, after arriving in Lampung, Sumanto found work at a sugarcane plantation. There he met a woman named Sutrima, and they married that same year. However, their marriage quickly fell apart due to domestic violence. In 1989, a year after his first divorce, Sumanto married another woman, Tukiyem, a widow he met at the plantation. Their marriage lasted longer and they had a child together. Still, Sumanto's violent tendencies remained. He often disappeared for days and continued abusing Tukiyem until she, too, sought divorce. Between 1993 and 1997, Sumanto moved back and forth between Purbalingga and Lampung. In 1997, he finally settled back in his home village, Majatenga, Purbalingga. Upon returning, his behavior grew even more disturbing. He became highly temperamental and frequently threatened to kill and eat his own family members. Alarmed, some relatives moved away to avoid him. Sumanto lived in a bamboo shack with a dirt floor, while his father resided behind him in a tiny 1-by-1 meter hut. Despite living in the village, both were shunned by the community. Sumanto prohibited anyone from visiting or even passing near his home. He would furiously chase away children playing nearby. Besides his reclusiveness and worsening temper, Sumanto frequently suffered from hunger. Despite neighbors occasionally giving him food, he fantasized about consuming a delicacy, meat. But what kind of meat did Sumanto crave, and why did he believe it would be delicious? On January 11, 2003, Sumanto, then 32 years old, shocked the village. He exhumed the fresh grave of Mabarina, an 81-year-old woman who had been buried only 16 hours earlier. How did he find out about her? When the mosque's drum announced Imbarina's death, Sumanto immediately sought her burial site. Driven by an uncontrollable urge, he pedaled his bicycle to the cemetery that night, dug up the grave, and retrieved Imbarina's body. After unwrapping her burial shroud, Sumanto even bit into her toes right there. He then stuffed her corpse into a plastic sack and cycled home. At his hut, he calmly laid the corpse in his yard. After sharpening his knife, Sumanto mutilated the body, first removing her genitalia and setting it aside. He then skinned her shins and carved out flesh from her thighs. With basic cooking skills he had learned while working at the plantation, Sumanto chopped up the thigh meat to prepare a meat soup. But before he could cook everything, he ate 1.5 plates of raw flesh. He roasted some parts, fried others, and made sauté. Tragically, he even offered some to his 68-year-old father, claiming it was goat meat. His unsuspecting father ate heartily, even asking for more, but Sumanto refused, wanting to keep the remainder for himself. Fearing discovery at dawn prayers, Sumanto quickly buried the remaining body parts about 5 meters from his shack. The next morning, a villager named Salim, harvesting sap from a palm tree, noticed Mbarina's disturbed grave. Only the burial ropes remained. Alarmed, Salim rushed to report the discovery. Chaos ensued. Police initially suspected wild animals, but 3 days later, residents of neighboring Pelumutan village complained of a foul smell coming from Sumanto's shack. Suspicion intensified when people noticed Sumanto wearing a strange necklace resembling a male genital. Police and villagers brought in sniffer dogs and headed for Sumanto's shack. Police found horrifying evidence: human bones and flesh scattered around Sumanto's home. He had turned some bones into pillows and buried others under his bed, claiming he slept better surrounded by the scent of human remains. They also found a decaying cat carcass and large pits in his yard, suggesting he had prepared burial sites for future victims. Sumanto's actions appeared unsophisticated and impulsive. 2 days later, police formally arrested him under Article 363 of Indonesia's Criminal Code for aggravated theft. Shockingly, when police searched his hut again, they discovered more human remains, along with a sarong and pants belonging to a missing man named Mizdam. Mizdam had vanished in December 2001 after going to massage Sumanto. Though evidence was incomplete, villagers strongly believed Sumanto had eaten Mizdam. During interrogation, Sumanto admitted that Mbarina wasn't his first victim. While working at the plantation, he had killed and eaten 2 others, a fellow migrant worker and a robber. Sumanto skinned their bodies, feasted on the flesh overnight, and left only bones and organs to rot. He claimed he turned victims' genitals into talismans for protection and wore them as necklaces. According to Purbalingga Police Chief AKBP Agus Sofyan Abadi, there were likely more than 3 victims, as police found numerous sarongs and clothes belonging to different people. While working in Lampung, Sumanto had also befriended a fellow laborer, Taslim, who taught him mystical practices. Taslim claimed that consuming 7 humans could grant spiritual power, 21 for greater power, 41 for invincibility. Sumanto agreed to the 7 human target. After devouring Mbarina and others, Sumanto believed their spirits lived within him. Psychologists from Central Java Police assessed Sumanto and found he was not mentally ill, but rather a psychopath driven by economic hardship, academic failure, and broken marriages. Sumanto himself said human flesh wasn't delicious. It smelled foul and was too fatty. Yet after consuming it, he felt an eerie peace. Sumanto was charged with aggravated theft under Article 363, Paragraph 1, Number 5 of the Criminal Code. There was no specific law for cannibalism or corpse desecration at the time. Prosecutors sought a 6-year prison sentence. However, Sumanto's lawyer argued that a corpse was not property under the law, comparing it to human waste discarded by burial. They also cited psychological evaluations suggesting Sumanto was mentally unfit. The defense requested Sumanto's release and state-covered rehabilitation. The judges found the defense unconvincing. On June 27, 2003, Sumanto was sentenced to 5 years in prison, 1 year lighter than the prosecutor's demand. Sumanto served 3 years before receiving a remission. On October 24, 2006, he was released. But freedom came at a cost. His family and villagers refused to accept him back, fearing they might become his next victims. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. To stay updated on our future videos, click on the notification bell icon after subscribing. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.